Right. Here we go again. Good morning, Flip Flop. Good morning, good morning. Got a little hot chocolate with me today here. Mainly just because, yeah, I'm not expecting too much today. But we'll see. Hopefully I'm proven wrong. Yeah, I'm really impressed with how OLMA held up yesterday. It's held up quite well, right? We had this sell-off and it just kind of held here. Yo, Key Life Trading! What's up, my boy? What's up? Good morning. But yeah, not expecting too much to start here. Like, as far as gappers, we have KZIA, but I mean, it did most of its move yesterday. And we've seen this a lot lately where stocks are popping up, but they're just kind of holding or selling off afterward. We'll see if it ends up doing something. We did have a bit of volume come in here, but I'm not super convinced on it. Right, there's no like live news on it. Here to watch the masterwork. Well, I mean, I'll be frank, man. It's been really slow the last few weeks, so you might just catch me looking at stocks for the most part. Hopefully we'll get something on watch to actually trade, but it's gonna depend, really. Right? It's out of my control, really. I can only trade what opportunities are given to me. Just setting it up for the next day here. All right, we got day 22 ready. Yeah, as far as initial scans, KZIA is the only volume pump we have that I'm seeing. Again, no immediate news on it, so I'm not super thrilled to get in on it. Good morning, John. Good morning, good morning. Those of you rolling in early on here, if you could hit the like button, help me get this out, I appreciate it. And we have VCIG. It's this stock. I haven't trusted this one. This one's done me dirty a couple times, so even if this one does end up moving, I'm probably not going to touch this one just because the history it's had with rolling over. A lot of people probably don't trust it. But yeah, other than that, we don't really have any good gappers. It's just KZIA. I'll keep it on watch at least, but I'm probably not going to mess with it. But yeah, this is the best gapper we have at the moment. See, I got 4 likes from you guys. I really appreciate it. I know it can be dull, especially in this kind of market, so I appreciate you guys being here and helping me out. So as far as KZIA goes, we did have this initial spike. Pull back. Actually, give me 1 sec. I keep forgetting to do this, so I'm going to turn off the display for 1 second so I can pull up Weeble so we have the better charting set up. It'll just take like 10 seconds. All right. Should be good to go back now. I'll go ahead and switch this. Can I not switch this to, there we go, 15 second, just so we have a little more interactive chart here to look at. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, good morning. Nothing really popping up at the 7 a.m. news. We're 5 minutes in, so I should have seen something by now. So it looks like, unfortunately, we might just be looking at KZIA until the half hour. And that's kind of what I was expecting. I said it yesterday. I was expecting a cold day today. Seeing some nice consolidation though, right? If we can see a break over this previous high, I wouldn't be surprised if it runs. John F says good morning. We have a lot of Johns here. Good morning, John. Okay, nice little break with some volume. This is very significant volume, right? 870 up to 920. So, I mean, 50-cent move. This thing is giving opportunity. And it is the highest volume of the whole pre-market. Maybe I should be giving this more consideration. Even though the news isn't live. It is, I mean, recent, right? It's just a day old. Yeah, this volume is quite significant. It says 809 million, but that's, they've done reverse splits. This just hasn't updated. It's a $9 stock, so I'm gonna go to half size. I'm still trading regular size, but I'm just being a lot more selective. I mean, I'm gonna reduce, if I do trade this, it's gonna be reduced size, just because it's a little more volatile, it's a bit higher priced. But no, at the moment, unfortunately, I've just kind of accepted doing regular size, but much harsher criteria, right? The last several days I've been... I mean, I had one day where I traded 6 times, but other than that, I've been taking less than 5 trades a day. So I've been pretty tame. So we have a micro pullback here, 1 minute pullback on the 1 minute chart. Volume's still quite high. All right, next clear resistance would be around 970 because of this. We also had a little bit of a top here. Right between 940 and 970. There seems to be a bit of a gap. Bit of a pullback, but this volume's lighter. Bit more coming through there. Okay, so volume picked up right at the end, but this was still a bit of an overextension. I would have considered adding here, but I mean, it was so brief. It was like half a second it was down there. I didn't have time to process it. The total volume is a bit higher than ideal for this pullback, but it did bounce, so this candle isn't actually as terrible as it looks, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know if I'm confident enough to go in here. Ideally, I would see this pull back a little bit more on lower volume. I don't know if we're going to get that, though. It's a little bit choppy. Bit more volume coming through here on this pop. Still looks good. I'm just worried because I would be buying so near the highs right now if I got in here. Take a quarter size here. 908. This pullback was a bit lighter on volume. Seeing a bit of a wall at 920. Okay, 920 broke, but didn't hold above it. Okay, now we are holding above it. All right, can we see the break to highs? Or are we gonna have another false break here? I'm wondering if I should add or not on this break. Another quarter size. 920 seems like it's holding pretty well as resistance. We broke over it several times, but it's been reclaimed. Okay, we broke it again, and we're seeing a bigger surge. We went up to 930. And pushed back below 920. Something's keeping this... Yeah, that makes me feel bearish, just seeing it really struggling to hold 920. It makes me feel like someone's selling as soon as it goes over. This rejection was on lighter volume, but on the flip side, the breakout was on lighter volume too. I'm losing conviction because of this seller at 920. It makes me feel like someone is there trying to push it down. Yeah. Somebody was up here at 920 holding this back. Pretty big volume coming in here too. I'm gonna cut it there. So I was holding because of this lighter pullback that we were having on these, but at 920 it was breaking above it several times, but it wasn't holding. So I think somebody was selling big here at around 920, 930. And whoever was selling isn't done selling. It was only 1/4 size, so not a big loser. I was up like maybe, I think like $6, $5 or $6 at one point. I wanted to add for the break of 930, but seeing it not holding above 930 was concerning. I liked my initial entry. I think I should have bailed when I was seeing it struggling at 920. SCMR. I'll take a look at it. Looks like a buyout. Yeah, it looks like a buyout at 9.8 billion. $12 a share is the buyout. Yeah, this should approach $12. If this breaks down here, I would be willing to take it for a longer term hold for an hour or two. Bit of a spread. By the way, just want to say it was a good decision to get out of KZIA. This thing continued to sell off even after I sold. Sold around here. It's rough. Like, a lot of these times when you've got this seller that just decides to dump everything, you just gotta get out of the way. It'd be so frustrating. Yeah, no, this is something you wouldn't want to be short. I mean, maybe if it approaches like maybe 1180 or something, you could consider shorting it, right? Because you're so close to the buyout price then. And since the buyout isn't like done, there's always the chance of a failure. So a lot of times that will push it back below. Now, this would have been a buy for me. If we would have went down to around 11 or maybe 11:10, this would have been a buy for me. Just to like an hour or two hold because we would see a gradual trend up. I thought 1130s might have been a little too aggressive. In the short term, though, it looks like it panned out well. Still upset about KZIA. I mean, it wasn't live news. And just the cold market context. I can't really say I'm too surprised with the result. Unfortunately, this is converging too closely to the buyout price, so I'm a little less interested to watch it now. Normally during the first pullback or so is the best opportunity to buy for a buyout play. That's what I've experienced. Change this back now. But yeah, I think we're just waiting for the half hour to see if anything comes up here. Yeah, just in general, because he said you didn't see news on it. Whenever we saw the action was around this area, just seeing the immediate spike followed by a flat line, this is very symbolic to me of a buyout. So even before looking at the news, my initial impulse just looking at this was buyout. That's usually how I identify it, because this pattern almost never happens organically. Yeah, this didn't really give a great pullback. The best one would have been around here, but it was very brief. Finally, we got some selling coming through here. Unfortunately, we're still way too close to the buyout price for me to want to get in here. We saw a lot of support at 1130s, so maybe like 1135. I could take half size and add in at around 1125s. Longer term swing, if the price goes that low. I'm not super optimistic that strategy will even become a play, but there's a small chance of it, seeing this selling pressure here. So overall, though, we've had no actual news moves today. We've seen KZIA that it was a momentum play. The kind of continuation from yesterday, we had this volume spike. But someone sold heavily here, and anybody who was trying to go for a long-term play here has been burned. So really only one opportunity, and it was short-lived. I mean, SEMR, this is a buyout. You can't really... It's not really a valid opportunity. So yeah, very slow start to the first half hour. Good morning to all of you coming in here. It's been a slow morning. I saw SGBX on the scanners. I didn't really think much of it. The volume was a bit lower. I see what you mean. It is kind of moving, but the volume's just kind of non-existent here. I guess it's fair to mention it. I saw it, but I didn't think anything of it. Was there news on it? Out of curiosity. Yeah, no news. So no, I'm not super interested in that. At least KZIA, even though it had no immediate news, it was kind of a continuation from yesterday's news. So there's kind of an argument there. Right, continuation plays, not as good as new or breaking, but there's at least justification. SGML had a pretty nasty pullback. Ooh, I see that. Yeesh. Yeah. I didn't even see this one. What's the float on this? Okay, that's why. Yeah, the float's so high, so my scanners just didn't even pick it up. SGPX, no news. Big shorted. 200%. Yeah, right now I'm not... The short squeeze is always a candidate, right? You had GTLO that had a huge move, but... And it was like a low float, but, yeah. What is the float on SGPX? Just out of curiosity. This is 6 million. Just think or swim say. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, so what is actually the float on this? Because Thinkorswim is saying it's 500,000. Has this been like a reverse split to hell stock? Kind of looks like it, right? We're just seeing this kind of destructive price action in the last several months. Yeah, this could just be like a short squeeze play. I don't know if I'm super interested in that though. In a hotter market, maybe. But like the volume's even pretty light. This isn't crazy high volume. 2 million? Yeah, it makes about sense. It's between the two. No, to me the volume's too light. It could it could definitely do something, right? It has the setup for it. But no news plus lower volume in a cold market. Not really what I'd want to see. Okay, we're at the half hour. We'll see if we get any news coming out here. Still watching SEMR. What did we bottom at? 1136. Honestly, maybe I could have taken a quarter size or half size here. This is a pretty big pullback. If we get around like 1130, I think that'd be something to jump on. I had it on a watch list on the side, or on a chart, but because it's so condensed up here at the top, I didn't actually realize it pulled back that much. So maybe a missed opportunity there because of the way the chart is. I'm adjusting it on my side chart, so if it does it again, I'll be able to see it better. Okay, RMIE. Looks like we got something going here. Pretty low float. Higher volume on the pullback. What we got for news? So, looks like their earnings were terrible. I mean, earnings per share, 72-cent loss was a 21-cent loss last year. I mean, isn't that bad? Okay, record, let's see, reports record 1,270% year-over-year growth. So like what, revenue? Yeah, revenue growth. Okay, so earnings per share was much worse, but revenue was much higher. I guess you could argue maybe there's something there. Okay, we got a bit of a spike now, volume coming. A lot of volume went through at 240. Didn't see if it was a buyer or a seller. Volume continuing to pick up minute over minute. Okay, pretty big volume coming through as it pushes down. Seems to be bouncing around this 120 area. ahead and take a snipe here. 213. That final bit of that extension was a bit extreme for the volume. Okay, nice little win there. $11. This is so terrible. Only one stock moving on news and it's up 9%. What a crappy market to be in. It's a pretty good setup I took, though. Yeah, I mean, when you're losing 70 cents per share and your share price is like $2, that's pretty terrible. I can understand 1,200% year-over-year growth is impressive for revenue, but I don't really. I mean, it's just such a terribly performed company that it can be difficult to justify any kind of spike. What was the high of this? 25. So I actually timed this pretty well. I was like 1 cent off of the high here. So my little dead cat bounce play worked out timing wise pretty well. Oh, SEMR, we're having a pretty big pullback. Okay. 1160 to 1150. 48. Okay, it's 12 cents. Bigger than it looked to me. Still worth keeping an eye on. I'm willing to do it, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw an order here for 50 shares, just in case it actually does a just random drop down to this. Guess you'll be holding this short. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you're what? You're up 20 cents. That's solid. I'll be honest, it's kind of annoying how you can kind of just short things and it just works out so much right now. Like, everything that's popping up is just failing. It really makes me wonder if just... Like, I feel like I'm being pretty conservative right now. Like, I've only taken 2 trades so far. But I'm wondering if I'm still being too aggressive. Right? When you consider that I'm trading something like this that's only up... I mean, it was up like, what, 15, 20%? And it's the only real mover we had. And KZIA was the only other real one. And it died too. Ooh, okay. It's a pretty big drop. We could go to 180s. I'd be interested. I'll check that out in a sec. I want to watch this. If this pops down to 180s. I don't actually know if 180s is... Maybe low 180s. Could be safe. Throw it out there. That's an impressive win, right? 35, because you shorted at 230. Yeah, it's 35-cent winner. It's crazy. Because you look at this chart, right? If I'm bullish, where would I make money? I'd make money here. I'd make money maybe here, maybe here. You could argue here, but this feels... I'm worried about this just continuing. But then you think about where you could make money. And you can just... I mean, it's just looking at the chart, right? This is in a downward trajectory, so you had more opportunities to make money going short. But no, I don't think 182 is valid anymore. It already had the bounce. CNR. Still holding around this. I'm actually surprised that this thing is churning as much as it is. They don't normally churn this much. I'm actually going to raise this by 1. Just because of this. CMR. Just bouncing back and forth between these. I'll check out the one you were saying. IVP. I'll take a look at it. Don't really have anything else to watch at the moment. Oh, what the heck? Bruh, this is a penny stock. Like, this is 14 cents. Bruh. What does this look like on the daily? Let's see. Okay, so we got 1 minute. This doesn't look any better. Yeah, this is just... Did you want me to be even more bored? Like, this is just depressing to look at. Just churn and then drop, churn. All right, SCMR. Even buying at 11.45 isn't terrible. I suspect maybe I could get more out of this, though. Seeing how much it's struggling to hold up, maybe it could pull back more. What the heck? Okay, I don't know what's up with the level 2. It's just not working for some reason. I've actually never seen this. It's very weird. If you're bored. Yeah. You want me to be more bored? SGPX. Saw this was pulling back a good bit here. Got a lot of range on this. This one's still probably out of play for me, though. DLO. Look at their last week earnings was a record to be the highest in the company history. Has no debt. Has upgrade to $13.50 to $16. And after hours is at $12.78 up in after hours. Take a look. Oh. Okay, I mean, you say up and after hours, it kind of just gapped and then came back. On what kind of volume? Yeah, like on 41 volume, it does this. That just kind of seems weird. And there's no immediate news. Looks to me just like manipulation of some kind. What do we got on daily? Yeah. Pretty consolidated. Very high float, too. Yeah, this is probably market makers. A gap like this on such a high float. What is this? This is like a 50-cent gap on something with this big of a float. On 40-something shares of volume, 41 shares of volume. Yeah, this is just market makers adjusting prices for some reason. But yeah, I don't see any news on this that would justify this. And it did come back down too, so yeah. But no, there can be. I mean, there's a couple stocks in particular. Those of you who know. But there's a couple low float stocks that I'm actually swinging that I think have better long-term potential that are undervalued. I'm not going to shout them out here because I'm a bit worried because, like, me shouting out a low float, I don't want to really be associated with doing something like that. I'm worried that that could create a conflict of interest, so I won't do that. But yeah, I mean, if you have conviction in this, by all means, there's definitely opportunity out there for swing plays and low float, especially ones that are such under the radar that institutions don't even care enough to look into them. There's definitely missed opportunities. Did this halt or something? Like, this is still frozen, and I'm looking at the chart. Yeah, this is halted. What happened? Hello? Like, why is this halted? What the heck happened? And I don't see. Okay, let's see. Deal could be finalized as soon as Wednesday. Yeah, why is this halted? Let me cancel my order just in case something shitty happens. Yeah, I don't see any news talking about this halting. Very interesting. That's very interesting. So this price action, by the way, this kind of price action is a little bit uncommon for a buyout. Normally, it will consolidate and flatline and slowly grind up. This kind of slight chop is a bit weird. The fact that it's halted now too. Very strange. But okay, we got 8 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll see if we get anything that comes up here. Because right now, I just see nothing else. RIME Did actually end up somewhat curling here. Like we're retesting above 2. But I think it would have just been too risky to try and buy here. It consolidated for so long. That would have been so risky. I think this might be the slowest day this week. 2 real stocks in play the first hour. Sorry, that's an insult to real stocks. I mean, 2 attempted momentum stocks would be a better way to describe it. Not reassuring either, by the way, that both of the stocks that were potential candidates ended up failing. That's going to kind of mess with people's psyche, and I suspect people are going to be even more hesitant to go long on these stocks now. Testing lows again. 203 to 190. Interesting this was on quite low volume, but yeah. All out, yeah. I mean, excellent play, man. Capturing all of this is insane. It's well done. I just wish there was this kind of opportunity on the bull side, too. Three minutes till the top of the hour. Waiting patiently. Waiting to see if there's any opportunity. Update this real quick. This way I have the stocks that have failed recorded. For the review later. EPWK. Looks like we're getting a spike on this early. Yep. I see you saw it at the same time I did. Yep. All right, so 756. Three strategic segments drive EPWK synergistic growth. Chinese stock. Seems like a bunch of word salad to me. Chinese stock isn't reassuring either. Pretty powerful move, though. 150 up to 233. Right, this is a pretty low float. It's saying less than 1 million on Thinkorswim. But this is clearly a pump and dump in the past. And we're still seeing these instances where we're seeing these massive rugs, even recently. So the stock has a history of manipulation. And it's Chinese. I just don't know if I trust this. I'm really worried about a rug pull on this thing. Like a big one. Like a 40-cent rug pull. We're seeing a very slow grind up. It's just going up a penny or two every 15 seconds. Volume is coming in too. Honestly, this much volume for this little price action's kind of weird. Around 250, we've got resistance. Yeah, 250, 240 is clear resistance. Short at 190, hope she rockets. Well, we'll see. I mean, in my opinion, this thing's going to do a big move in a direction. You've got super high risk with it because it's Chinese stock, low float, history of manipulation. But on the same token, this thing has made 300% moves recently. But of the recent 300% move it made, it gave back the entire move in a day. Okay, so it was like a 23-cent drop. I was expecting like a 40-cent drop. My concern is the fact that this thing had such high volume on such a low float, but didn't really move at all. The price action to volume doesn't really make sense. That pullback had a little bit of weakness to it. This could bounce here. I'm probably not going to get in here. Maybe if it pulls back more, but the Chinese stock is just, this is not the time for Chinese stocks, please. I don't want to get rugged. I'm not seeing anything else on the scanners at the moment. Okay, some volume coming through. 160 to 180, so about a 20-cent move there in about a minute. Okay, 750,000 on that candle. Another extremely high volume candle, 750,000. This candle's actually higher than the last, and we have a huge topping tail. Certainly a bigger bounce than I expected. But I did see that there was some weakness here. I didn't expect 1 million shares of volume to come in from this, though. I just don't know if I trust this. It certainly has the volume. The news catalyst seems kind of just neutral. Nothing too crazy. You're falling asleep? Don't worry, I'm falling asleep too. I've had stimulation and I'm still falling asleep, man. Getting bored out here. I mean, you think about it, it's been 1.5 hours, well, a little over an hour. And I've only really seen 3 stocks that looked interesting to me. And again, interesting is a very kind word because a lot of these have been not super exciting. Yeah. Honestly, if we don't see anything at 8:30 here, 8:35 rather, I might just cut the stream early because this is sad. This stock, I mean, we're holding around 30%, which isn't terrible. But the fact that it's a Chinese stock is not ideal. Right, and the other stocks today, like, go back to RIME just to show it's gotten worse. So, yeah, RIME, been selling off this whole time. What was it? KZIA. This has been selling off ever since I sold here. So yeah, there's not a lot of movers, and the ones that are moving, they've all failed. Except for this one, but I'm still so hesitant to trust this because it's a Chinese stock. Right, in a hotter market, I would be more willing to commit. But I'm still just really afraid of a rug pull on this. The float's very low. I'm very surprised on this volume though. This volume it's kind of standing out to me. But unfortunately, I just don't think this is the right kind of stock to trade. It's choppy. It's choppy, it's unclear, there's high risk involved with it. I feel like I'd rather just wait for something better. Something safer. Yeah, we're seeing this spike. Like, there's clearly some kind of wall around 195 to 2. There's some kind of wall here. Has 230% short interest. Fair enough. I mean, that's pretty high. Could be a short squeeze candidate. Still very high volume coming in. Yeah, even look at the daily. We saw how this broke down the last several days. Yeah, float rotation's been very high. That's kind of what I mean. It's like this is definitely probably the best opportunity today, just in terms of metrics. It's got things going for it. I also understand this isn't the right time to be super aggressive. So we grinded from 178 up to 2 in about 3 minutes. And it has the range too, right? There's definitely range on both sides to make money on this. Very high volume again. We're seeing million volume candles each minute for a lot of these. So we broke above 2, we went to 203, 204, and then we rugged back. Well, I won't say rug. We had a violent pullback to 184. It's like a 16, 17 cent drop in a minute. We're returning to 2, but volume is incredibly light. So we just kind of skyrocketed back to 2 here. I'll take a half size there, 190. Only half, because I don't know how much I trust this. This pullback was pretty weak. Now it's kind of just churning, though. It's back alive from the hole. Why are we over 12? Okay, no, we just went up to 12. Gotcha. So we're seeing decreasing volume on this pullback. Broke out, but again, the volume's dropping on a lot of these spikes. Okay, a little bit of a volume increase here. Yeah, this like 198 to 204 range seems like there's a lot of resistance here. If we do break it, though, we might actually see a run to like 230, 220. I think it's realistic. This is some crazy consolidation we're seeing. Good morning, Gavin. I'm going to cut it at 188. It's a sizable wall here at 189. I was kind of struggling here. Felt like it was almost being laddered down. $1 loss. Now, for something that's supposed to have such a low float, this is quite a thick spread. What broker do I use? So I mean, technically on screen, you actually see 3 brokers right now. So the execution platform is Lightspeed Trader. These 2 charts and the news is Thinkorswim, and this is Webull. So I'm using Webull because it has the 15-second increments for tickers. So I find that a little bit more refreshing to engage with, and it gives me a bit more context than the 1 minute does. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and log this. I don't regret getting out, and it looks like it's going against me anyway, so I'm kind of glad I got out. It was a bit more of a speculative trade. So we're still roughly break even on the day. What's up, bro? Green is good on a day like this. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You really aren't. But it's just frustrating that, like, if you look through the history of like how I've been doing the last few weeks, there's just been like this decline of volatility. Like, my gains and losses have just been going down. It's really hard to find anything that has an edge. You have a Lightspeed account with less than PDT? Yeah, this is a cash account. This isn't a margin account. I am considering making a margin account if they do pass that $2,000 rule change that they were talking about. Ross is down 3.7K in his main account. Yeah, it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. I mean, for those of you that are tuning in while we have a couple minutes before the half hour, there's been a couple stocks we had on watch today, and they've just all kind of sucked. So we had KZIA. I actually traded this one way up here, and then I ended up having to bail for a small loss on this breakdown, and it's just been going down ever since. We had, this one was really brutal. Look at this one, RIME. This one's been just brutal. This one's gone straight down as well. What else did we have? Well, we had EPWK, the one I just tried. So I tried buying at one of these pullbacks here, and it ended up failing. $1 break-even, roughly, loss on that. So yeah, it's just been really bad. Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, I've even debated, like, how many... I've taken 3 trades today, and you could even argue I shouldn't have even traded. Just straight up. It's frustrating. I don't mind, like, you know, poking and testing the water, because, I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm going to be, like, roughly break even, it's not a big deal to me if I'm at least testing the waters. I just can't be, like, swinging for the fences, you know what I mean? Like, I can't be taking, like, 20 trades, swinging with full size or large size. But yeah, I'm content with at least testing the waters. It makes it interesting. It helps keep me engaged, not only with you guys, but also just with the market. Because I feel like I'd fall asleep otherwise if I wasn't taking a trade every, like, hour or so. Let's see. How are commissions at Lightspeed for you? So, commissions are... It's 35 cents per 100 shares if you do per share, and... They also have a per trade model. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, so roughly for a round trip, so you buy 100 shares, sell 100 shares, you're paying about 70 cents. So you're losing about 0.7 cents per share on a trade, if that makes sense. Actually, here, I can show you on my my thing here. So you can see here I have commissions, which is where I basically just add up the total shares that I trade, multiply it by 2, and then multiply it by the rate of the commission rate. And then I just subtract that from the total profit. So you can see, I'm basically break even on the day. Today is a non-day, right? I'm up $2.02, but after that I'm up like $1, a little less than $1. I know execution is amazing. Yes, that is the... There's 2 reasons I'm using Lightspeed for this challenge. First of all, execution is amazing. It's beautiful. You also have hotkey customizations. They're very, very powerful. I can put a whole array of different custom keybinds, and I can also change the share size for each individual hotkey. Very powerful. I don't really see other brokers doing that. So those are the main positives. Is good, but I can see a difference in speed with TradeZero platform and Dash Trader. You mean you can't see a difference? I haven't used either of those. I know of Dash Trader. Yeah, I've never heard of TradeZero. Yeah, momentum is shot completely. Yeah, it is a bad day to be a bull in small caps. If you're a bear, like, you could probably short a lot of these, right? Like, what is it? RME, right? Could have made a lot of money shorting this. I don't even know how I'm green on it, right? I made 11 bucks on it. The fact I managed to make money on this is crazy. Got a bit lucky. Oh, you can. Okay, okay. TradeZero is... Oh, it's an offshore broker. I've never heard of it. Well, actually, I mean, I guess that's why I've never heard of it, right? Offshore broker. Because they're, like, not allowed to advertise or whatnot. Well, I mean, one thing I would argue to you real quick. So, true, like you could do a $500 margin account, according to you. And we'll say that's true. What do you get out of that? Because you're still paying the high commissions. You might actually pay higher commissions. I wouldn't be surprised. They're probably roughly the same though, maybe a little higher or lower. But think about it. I have taken 3 trades today, and the last few weeks I've only taken a handful of trades. I have not even utilized the entirety of my account. So really, there's not a huge edge to me setting up an offshore brokerage, at least at the moment. Now, in a hot market, I would totally agree with you. I would totally agree. It's a lot faster to grow an account with a margin account in a hot market. But in a cold market, cash account's actually probably safer. Now, I mean, if you're talking about total money lost, okay, maybe a margin account. But yeah. Commissions are 0.005 cents per share. Is that one way or is that a round trip? So yeah, that's a little bit more expensive than Lightspeed, which I would expect because offshore brokerages have an edge right now, so they're going to overcharge a bit. So that rate is already more than Lightspeed. I'm just wondering if that's one way or not. If it's a round trip, then that's actually a little bit cheaper, but I would suspect it's not. That's one way? Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you're paying about 30% more in commissions relative to Lightspeed. But you get what you said, you get the instant settlement. But I would still argue that Lightspeed is incredibly effective for hotkeys and execution. And that probably would not be... I don't think an offshore broker would be able to compete with that. I mean, I could consider, like, if you guys would be interested in a small account challenge where I would try and do a 500,000 or 500 share, $500 or $1,000 challenge, I would be down to do that, but I would only want to do that during a hot market. I wouldn't want to do that right now where it's cold. But a minimum of 198 round trip on shares under 199. Okay, so they're pushing for you to trade with higher size then. I see. I'm just waiting to see if anything comes out here for the half hour. Usually takes a minute or two. Yeah, you can't get much closer to break even than this. I mean, even after commissions, like I'm less than $1 away from break even. I want to check something. All right. Trying my first ever poll. Let's see if you guys see it. Because I see nothing on the scanners at the moment. I'll wait until 8:40 to close the poll. I don't mind staying here either way, by the way, but it's whatever you guys want. So, like, if you guys are just kind of like, okay, it's a dead day, nothing's really moving, I totally get it. It's a pretty boring day. But if you guys want to just stay here, see if anything comes up at 9, I'm down for that too. That wasn't really a yes or no answer question. I mean, it kind of is, isn't it? And stream at 8:40 a.m.? Or wait till 9 a.m. I mean, to me, that's a yes or no. Actually, I mean, the first question would be a yes or no in stream. Yeah, I think that's a yes or no. Maybe I could have made it a little more clear, but I think you guys are smart. You guys can understand what I'm saying. It probably would have been a little more precise to say just 8:40 or 9. Yeah, APWK. I mean, I am surprised that this is holding so well. I put no for no on. Yeah, exactly. Nothing's gonna come up, but I'll be waiting all day. Yeah. I mean, you never, like, I've seen it. I've seen it a lot of times where I will end the stream at 9, and then when I'm doing my review, like 30 minutes later, I see there's like 1 or 2 stocks that came up at 9 or 9:15, and I just ended up not trading them because, you know, I got off. But they would have been contenders. So I truly, I do respect staying a little past 9, just in case something does come up. We kind of have MPL. Volume's a bit light. What is the volume? Yeah, we're getting like a less than 1,000 per minute. That's a bit too light. Is there any news on it? No news. Okay. Also, this is a new stock. Recent IPO. Or just merger or something. I respect the grind from you guys. I mean, that's part of being here, right? Seeing if anything pops up, even if it's a boring day. At the very least, even though today was boring, everyone that's here, we've all experienced that today was a slow day. I think we can all agree on that. Maybe we could agree on like how slow it was, or like maybe we could debate that a little bit, but I think we can all agree today was a slow day, and this is good context going forward. EPWK moving again. Yeah, it's been kind of curling. Very impressive curl, actually. Basically all the way back up to here. This setup does feel bullish to me. It reminds me of the move, MOVE move, where you saw it kind of fade down, go sideways for like half an hour, and then curl back. But all right, so you guys want me to stay, so I'll lock in. I'm here till 9 at least. If we see anything at 9, I'll stay a little longer than that too. Understood. As for this, I'm a bit iffy if I want to give this a shot or not, if I really trust it. This setup does feel bullish to me, and we still have high volume too. Very large volume on this breakdown into a reversal. A lot of congestion here. $186 has been pressured a lot, but it's held till this point. Kind of seen this ladder down effect where price had been going steadily down this whole time. Finally seeing a break through it. SGML kind of interesting. Can see it's starting to curl, like the support it's getting off of 9 on the daily. I think I was watching that one earlier, but I thought it was a bit too low volume. I mean, to me, it just looks like it's in a clear downtrend. It could bounce off 9, but like to me, it's on the backside. I'm not super interested in that, at least for a short-term play. For a stock that's a low float, this feels like for the volume it has, this is just not really moving as much as I would have expected it to. Yeah, you would need some other indicator than just it bouncing off of the 9 support. So we've seen this kind of ladder down. It did this before too, but then we hit the spike. Yeah. This feels somewhat controlled. Okay, so a lot of people probably trying to get in here for this new high we've had. Hmm. We're rallying back up again. No, it's very boring. I understand that. Like, and the fact that it's just not breaking through, too. It just keeps testing it and rejecting it. XIBO, take a look. XBIO. Okay, I mean, looks like there might be something here. Not sure. Let's see, 20,000, fairly light volume. There is news on it, though. Oh, wow, you're right, on the daily. Actually... yeah, volume's fairly light, though. Got a bit of a spread. I mean, like, the fact that I'm looking at this and the volume's just so low, this just really isn't that high quality of a stock to be looking at. I mean, it could work out, but it's really out of the field of what we should be looking at. EPWK did end up breaking out here, but it only moved 10 cents. Considering how much this thing had consolidated, right? It was consolidating here, it was consolidating here, trying to break it. The fact that when it did break, it went up 9 cents. Like, that's what we're fighting for? Okay. Not really what I'd want to see. XBIO looks like it's pulling back. Light volume on this breakdown. Went to 64, 65. Yeah, I think we're just waiting for the top of the hour here. We're in massive profit today, guys. $2.02. We're killing it. Killing it on the Captain channel. The Trading Captain. Yeah, I'm going back to EPWK. This one is just it's low volume. There's no point watching it. This one's also still not really in play. It's a bit too slow, but at least it's doing something, I guess. Yeah, I think this is the slowest day of the week so far. This has been very, very slow. Do I have a day job? No, I have been day trading for quite a while now. This isn't my best form of income, but I have other trading stuff I do that makes more, like swing trading. Why do I stop at 9 to get ready for my other stock stuff? Because I do that during the day when the markets are open. This is more like a side hustle I do. Yeah, no problem. It's fun to do. I mean, I don't want to seem like I don't enjoy doing this, because I do. It's just whenever the market gets cold like this, it gets extremely boring. Right? I mean, I'm at the point like where I'm not really making money. I'm mostly here just to kind of see the sentiment of the market before I get started. Whenever the market's cold. When the market's hot, I can actually, you know, trade, and I'm actually trying to make money. Right now, I'm trying not to lose money. That's really what I'm trying to do right now, is just not lose a lot of money. I don't mind losing a little bit if it means I tried to take a setup I thought could work. But, yeah, I'm really trying to hold back from just, because it's tempting to just want to get in this. But like seeing how slow this thing's moving, and you got to remember, right? I'm commission broker, and on top of that, I've got the slippage, right? Because I'm crossing the spread, so I am fighting an uphill battle in those currents. So I can't just be jumping in on something that's moving slowly, because that's just a recipe for you to churn commissions. Alternatively, I could just try to take one very large trade and just try to take an A+ quality setup. But the problem is that that's kind of a YOLO mentality. And on top of that, you just don't really see A+ quality setups in this market. I actually can't remember the last time I had an A+ quality. It's been like 4 weeks. They have 2.5 million zero-priced warrants still registered, but it's not reported how many of them are still active. It's had a few spikes lately other than today. Yeah, I noticed that it had a few spikes historically. Right, there was one like not too long ago. We go here. I was talking about this one where it had spiked from 240. We went up to 649. So like that's a 250, maybe even a 300% move at one point. So this makes moves. Yeah, last hope for news 9 and 9:15. I mean, I agree, but I wouldn't hold your breath. It's been incredibly slow today. Stocks really just aren't moving at all. I mean, technically EPWK is up about 50%. So like that's significant, but the way it's gotten there has been very dull. Right, it was interesting here, and I was looking for these extensions, but it's just completely fizzled out. It does feel like Friday. It really does. Like, if you told me today was Friday, I would believe you. I don't think I'm going to touch this one anymore, even if it has a good setup. It's already burned me once, and it's just moving so slow. Even if this does suddenly pick up speed, I don't think I want to touch it. Quick shout out before the top of the hour. If you guys aren't subscribed and you like this whole session that I'm doing, I do stream every day, so maybe consider subscribing. And you can come back tomorrow if you want. Maybe this isn't the greatest example to give because the market's dead, but yeah, I'm always here. Man, am I just the greatest pitcher of all time? Totally improvised or enthusiastic to survive or subscribe now. I think I'm about ready to call it here, but I'll wait. I'll give it till like maybe 9:05. If we don't see anything by 9:05, I'm gonna dip. But that'll give it plenty of time for any 9 news to come out. All right, here we go. There's like a little psychological thing for me too. Because like I'm basically flat on the day, so any loss that I take, if I take a trade, I'm going to go into the trade knowing if this is a loser, I'll be red on the day. So there's like a little psychological play there, but at the same time, I also just got to accept that that really doesn't matter. Okay, so seeing some heavy selling coming through here. Not super heavy, but moderate. All this grinding just to make a 10-cent move and then give it back. Oh, is this the rug? We'll see. Nothing popping up immediately for me on the scanners. I'll give it a few more minutes. We do have FRGT. It's a bit too cheap for me to trade. Does look like it's moving a little bit, though. Decent momentum behind it. Everyone is waiting for an NVIDIA earnings report. Maybe it will give some volume after hours. I mean, I haven't really looked at the large cap earnings plays. But that's definitely a big one, right? That's one of the top contributors to the SPY, so it'll have a significant impact for sure. You were right not to get my hopes up. 9 a.m., nothing, so much hate. Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. Like, that's what we're in. We're in the absolute depths of a cold market. And not only are we in one, but it's just been a long one. I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like this cold stretch has been exceptionally long. I haven't seen a cold stretch this long in a little bit. It's definitely the worst of the year. There's no question this is the worst of the year. But yeah, it's unfortunate because usually around November, historically it's hotter. So for us to see most of November being cold, it's unfortunate. No shares available at Schwab for EPWK. Miss my Centerpoint account. Don't miss the fees. The Trump deep freeze. Yeah. Maybe once the Epstein files come out, maybe then the market will heat back up. EPWK still kind of like just kind of gradually grinding lower. All right, I'll give it one more minute. If I don't see anything on the news, then I'm probably going to call it here. See, it's sad too, because this was actually like a pretty good setup. I was looking at this and I'm like, man, this thing's holding. It's looking like a 1 minute high. I liked this setup. It's just that the price was too low. think those short squeezes we had when ORBS happened, or whatever it was called before. You mean GLTO? I think that's maybe what you were talking about. That was a short squeeze. Went from like $3 to like 30 or something. That GLTO and MOVE were the two that did it. There was a third one, but I can't remember the name. Yeah, I mean, this is about at $1. I mean, I could consider messing with it. It's very strong, and it is like around my price range now. So they launched AI price prediction tool on their platform. So this has a history of making spikes, but the spikes don't hold. Also, this is quite suppressed. What do we have for float on this? 2 million, 3 million, so around like 2.5 million. Float's fairly small. We're getting a very high volume. Maybe I could consider something on this. Not here, though. Right, 1 minute we've gone straight up. The level 2 is actually kind of thin, despite the volume. Okay, so there's a 30,000 share seller there. Pressed it down to 91. We had high volume on this first 1 minute pullback. Not quite ideal. Still high volume on the second candle too. I know, I hate it, dude. The fact that I'm looking at penny stocks under $1, I hate it. Like, I try to do at least $1, and I don't even like doing $1. I like to do at least $2. The fact that I'm having to compromise like this is very frustrating. And even on like, even on the 1 minute chart, just seeing high volume selling, it's not what I want to see. Yeah, I miss the old days from like 3 months ago where we were seeing 100%, 150% moves every day. Those were the golden ages of the year. And now it's just breaking down. Yeah, I'm done with this. I'm calling it here. This is... I'm glad I stayed. I got to see what would happen at 9, but nothing's happening right now. There's really nothing to go for here. I'm probably going to wrap it here. So very, very small green day today. Only 3 trades. Nothing really crazy. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. I mean, I'm not optimistic, but it can't be much worse than today, because today was pretty terrible. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. You guys all have a good rest of your day.